Hello, I'm back already. Wednesday morning. Boy, time really does fly. I mean, the days are full, and like when I'm waiting for something, the time just drags on. But when you turn around, it's like, well, it was just Monday. It's Wednesday, 23rd of July. Cheers, people. Folks, I'll tell you what, your comments about Ozzy, very touching. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I'm even leaving the one where someone's professing about Jesus Christ. For fuck's sake. We don't need that. That's obviously not the answer. It's just a personal trip that you're on. But I'm going to leave it, okay? I really enjoyed hearing, not hearing, but reading all of the comments. Music is such a powerful vehicle of communication and expression. And rock and roll changed the world. And as rock and roll changed, there have been those who have changed it. I'll agree with someone who said that they felt that the impact of Black Sabbath / Ozzy was on the same level as the Beatles. And in many ways, I agree. The influence and the impact is massive. Absolutely massive. And I found myself looking last night for more content online, more people talking about his death, thinking to myself, especially after the Birmingham concert a few weeks ago, if there's any way that people could get together physically and mourn, I bet that happened in some places in the world. I checked in and watched Dave Ellefson, formerly of Megadeth. He has a show, or he's online on YouTube. So I watched him talk for a while. He played at the last show, so it was neat to hear him speak. A couple other channels, I watched what they had to say. Big loss, big loss. So yes, I played some Black Sabbath, and I played this one, the one I talked about. I have a book, a program from an exhibit that happened in California years ago, where a bunch of artists who did album cover artwork from all over the world had a big exhibit, and Drew's was part of the exhibit. My sister Adrian and Floyd, good friends of theirs, went, but they sent me a program from the exhibit signed by Drew Struzan on the part where it featured his artwork from Black Sabbath and some other artists. That's somewhere here in my books collection. But I always have to boost the bass on this. That's my main complaint about this. As the album played, I also remarked about how Black Sabbath employed folk melodies. Tony Iommi, there's not just the acoustic song on here, but there's other heavy songs where you hear these ancient folk melodies. This was the album that was out of order. We sold our soul for rock and roll. Some of you folks who've been on here for a long time remember my little friend, my short friend Jeff White, who kind of appears and then disappears out of my life. He gave this to me, his pristine copy. It's 7 in the morning, and it's already sufferingly humid. This weather is bizarre. Climate change, out of our control. So the other thing that I started to mention yesterday is that I've been needing a new stylus for a long time. I've known that. But it took me a while to figure out what kind of cartridge was on this ion USB turntable I use. I have a good Pioneer out in the other room, but this one I like, and it was my brother's turntable. So there's that sentimental value when I play it. It reminds me of my brother. I'm playing his old turntable. But I finally figured out that it's an Audio Technica cartridge, and found there's no place in Omaha to buy audio equipment like that. Replacement styluses, not where you can really, there's, well, not that I know of. So I found a place online, LP Gear. It took a while. That's why I hate to order online, waiting, and then it was held up. It was supposed to be here 2 days ago, but then it finally came yesterday. They kept changing the tracking. The tracking kept changing the date. It's like, what the fuck? But when it finally got here yesterday, it's like, oh my goodness! It's like the world has opened up again. Now I've been on I'm coming off of, and it's not golden yet, but the last 2 days, tinnitus-wise, have been really loud, and sometimes it really does bother me. I can still hear everything, but I hear the ocean. Anyway, of all things to choose to initiate my new needle stylus was my man Sakamoto, Neo Geo. Because the last time that I played this, is when I noticed, boy, do I need a new needle. And when I played this with the new one, it was like, oh my God. I had been settling for less for a long time. Just, oh my goodness. Dropping the needle on a record is priceless. So this and the sonic depth that you get when the needle is hitting the entire groove, there's something special about it. The audio experience, it isn't the same as listening to a CD, even though a CD has pristine quality. Ain't nothing like playing records. And so I played a few. I'll show what I played, and I actually am thinking I'll have further records from what I was given to show I'm not done. There might be some in here, there might not be, but it's like I've actually enjoyed talking about those records that that I'm not going to keep. But something else that I played, wondering if I would know, thinking I would probably notice the difference with the new needle, was this new pressing of Immutable by Meshuggah. And boy, what a difference. Oh my goodness, I was not saying it out loud, but I was thinking, when I listen to these records, I'm wondering about how they're cut, but it's not the cut. It was, I needed a new stylus bad. Beautiful pressing. And the subtleties are there on the vinyl. And it's like, oh man. So excuse me. It's almost like I don't even realize I'm talking on camera. But the other thing that I want to accomplish today is to go back to that site and order a backup stylus. So I went ahead and played this again. Played side one all the way through with the new needle, because I've been noticing it, that I need a new needle, and it really makes a difference. Um, I'm still not knocked out by this, and I'm probably not going to be. But this is a cool album. The Black Bolts by Tunde Adebimpe. You know, a lot of these songs are about people's relationships, and I just, I'm a single person, single-minded, and so I don't give a shit about hearing about people's problems with other people. I'm not entertained by it, and that's a lot of what songs are about, and I just don't care. It's a good thing I'm single. I also played this because the Mickey Bereni Trio album Tripla is my album of the year. Something else, there's other records that are probably better, but this is just stole my heart. It's every few days I have to play this. Now, my favorite songs, because I have favorites on here, the opening track, Eighth Deadly Sin, the second track, Kinch. Then we go into, on the second side, Big I Am, then Vertigo, and then Hurricane, in that order. Those songs get repeated. And the new stylus, this sounds fantastic. Oh, I was missing, I put it on, I downloaded it. And so, I burned a CD and, it turned the CD up loud, especially out in the living room to get that real fidelity. But with the new Nino, it was like, oh, this sounds even better. I mean, it really does. It really seems to sound better than the CD. It's more the presence, the analog presence. That's the best I can describe it. You can't digitize. You can't. Only to a degree can digits is our computational power. It's not to the point where we can digitize the atmosphere in the room and the way that everything is moving because it's physical while the music is being played on a record. We can't digitize that yet, but eventually we will be able to, probably. I played one more, didn't I? Oh, I played a couple more. Actually, let me yeah. So I listened to the rest of this George Duke, and as much as I love George Duke, this selection that they chose for this album is, again, they chose a lot of vocals, love songs, and it's like if they left it to me, my selection would have been totally different from his NPS albums. But it was a joy to listen to this with the new stylus. It just, I love it. And then this, I showed you, I just bought this organ album on vinyl. Finally, I've had it forever on CD. Oh my God, this is so good. It's just wonderful music. Playing records is a privilege, I think. It's a privilege, and it's a great joy. I'm so glad. It's a simple pleasure, but a simple, great pleasure. I was having so much fun with my new stylus that, Richard, when you see this, I got the new Cleastoir. Haven't played it yet. But I can already say this in relation to the records that I was showing that were given to me, all that disco and really commercial stuff. This is the shit. In a positive, using in the slang term, this is the shit. This is the type of art that turns me on. Cleastoir. I've already shared that many times. I put this on, and it's like it puts me in a cold room. And it's like, wait a minute, wait. I'll get to this, and I'll give it a proper review. But this is what turns me on, is true expression. You know, when I found out that the fellow behind this, Gary Mundy, was the guitarist in Breathless, it's like, well, that does heighten my appreciation of his art, because I would have never guessed from the sound of this music in Breathless that it was the same person. Thank you again, Richard, for including me on your mailing list. So, we'll see. Blake says he wants to stop by today on his day off to get these records. We'll see if he stops by. I always enjoy a visit with Blake, especially when he takes time to sit around and listen and talk. But a couple more that I'm going to keep that I don't think I showed. So I've showed, okay, so yeah. So of those records that were given to me, this is Beat. Oh, it's just Well Played. No, it's not that. Oh, wait, yes, it is. But Tommy James and the Shondells, Crimson and Clover. And I have the Cellophane Symphony album, which I've had for a long time, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of a lesser known psychedelic album from the day. It's by Tommy James. His story in dealing with the mob who owned this label is an interesting story about the corruption that just ruins everything and has been rife throughout the music industry forever. But I've always loved Tommy James and the Shondells. When they come on the radio, those were golden moments. Crystal Blue Persuasion, Sugar on Sunday, their version, I like it. But Hanky Panky, the first big hit that I heard, loved it. Still have that single. I think I have the album. I think I do. I'd have to look it up. Not right now. I'm not going to keep this, but I'm going to keep this long enough to finally listen to the whole album, because again, it's someone who I respect. She worked hard for her success, but it's not what I want to hear. Cyndi Lauper. She's so unusual. Yeah, I love and respect Cyndi Lauper, but this music is just not on the same level of what I think is interesting. But please understand, like I said about Bob Seger, and thankfully someone in the comments caught it. I don't want to listen to Bob Seger, but I respect him. Sure in the hell do. Same with Cyndi Lauper. I also love the fact that my friends, the band Tilly and the Wall, who were threatening to become, really successful for a minute there, when they toured Japan, they ended up on a big bill opening for Cyndi Lauper. And Cyndi Lauper liked them so much, she dragged them out on stage during her set. That is a sign of respect. Here, I'm keeping this because it has my copy of Goodbye Cream is my childhood copy. And it's Beat, because I played the hell out of it. Especially the song Badge, which is my favorite Cream song. Well, it's on this. History of Eric Clapton. Most of Eric Clapton's solo work, I think, is absolute crap. I don't care for it all. I'm happy that he made I Shot the Sheriff popular, but his version of it is terrible. No, I'm not a fan of the song Layla. Boy, did I get sick of that real quick. And I never liked the Dereck and the Dominoes records. I like telling you this because this stuff was so fucking popular, and I have this library of all this other music that most of the people who listen to that stuff have no clue of. And so much of it is so much more interesting, or just as interesting, I think, better. So that's what my attitude is about, folks. And I've been dealing with this my entire life. I'm 70. And to this day, the absolute dregs of music is what sells the most and is what gets pushed into our faces first. It's all about product, and I hate that. So anyway, that's why I'm hanging on to this for now, because it's in much better shape. Not a whole lot, but well, actually, I need to play it because my Goodbye Cream, I hate to admit it, it's one of those records that has a permanent skip because of me as a kid, trashing the record, playing it too much or whatever. Again, along those lines of just pure nostalgia, nostalgic love. Love and Spoonful. Their songs, just almost all of their hits, and I have most of them on 45 still. John Sebastian, great writer. I like his voice too. Can really play the harmonica too. He's still alive. Summer in the City, killer song, almost prog. Listen to Summer in the City by the Love and Spoonful and tell me you don't hear the prog, progressive rock elements in that arrangement. Killer band. 6 o'clock and Darling Be Home Soon. Love these songs. Here is the best of the Pointer Sisters. So that other album that I showed you, I won't keep that one. But I'm going to keep this double album on Blue Thumb, ABC Blue Thumb. I haven't needle dropped this yet. And at this point, my plan this morning is we'll see if something arises where I get back to work on the Mike Watt project, because I'm not thinking that I have to do this now. It's like I want it to ferment. So besides that possibly being something that I end up working on some more today, I just intend to really enjoy playing some records with my new stylus and ordering a backup, because it inadvertently does happen. This one, well, the lift that it's gone on there, and so I've had accidents where the needle goes skating across the record. That always makes me cringe, and I know that even though the needles are diamond, it damages the tip. So I intend to very carefully today play some records. But another one out of that batch that I plan to keep is this 12-inch single by Steve Winwood, Don't You Know What the Night Can Do? Okay, so this is just as commercial sounding as all this other stuff, like the Cyndi Lauper and stuff that I'm not going to keep. But Steve Winwood is a consummate musician, and you can hear it in the arrangements of this song, this album, which was I've never owned it. The big hit album, don't need it. 1988. I remember this time period well. But this is a good song. So once again, folks, it's fine that, folks do want to share their opinion, like I'm sharing mine. But understand, I know what I like, so it's not like you're going to tell me something and like, oh, you missed out on this. I know what I like, and commercial, the box that is commercial, that has to have certain definitions for the music to fit into it. It's those very definitions that turn me off. And so I'm always looking outside. Even though I have a lot of commercial records, or records that could have been commercially successful. So that's enough of that rant, okay? at the beginning of the Ozzy video, the music that you heard that one person did ask about, I like it when people notice and ask about the music. That's a new piece that I'm working on. It's not done yet, but it's one that arose out of starting to work on a Mike Watt project where I'm thinking when I'm done with this, because this piece is not done, it's still in progress, um, that I'll send to Mike Watt, but there's no real bass on it. It's in order to get the sound that I wanted, I did it on keyboard. But maybe he would want to add something onto it. We'll see. Okay, folks, have a good day. I'm about to turn the air conditioning on. This weather is horrid. Um, I was thought about showing some family records, but I didn't pull them out. And I'm missing one on vinyl, the big one, Music in a Doll's House. I waited too long to buy it used because when I finally, I need to get that 50, 60, $70 when I would see it in shops. So I don't have it, but I have the others. Might talk about them tomorrow. Okay, folks, take care. Have a good day.